Hi, my name is Jeff Pagano, and welcome to the Harpin on Rugby preview show. Joining me to look ahead to Friday night's big interpro is someone we haven't seen on the pod for a while. Great to have him back, earning his 54th cap. Welcome to Mr. Mark Jackson.
Pleasure as always, Jeff. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you, man. Well, listen, just before we have a look at the match, what have you made of, just quickly, made of Leinster season so far?
Solid 6, 7 out of 10. Because we haven't played a full game yet. To be honest with you, we've had snippets here and there of what potentially could be a very strong side, but it's been 20 minutes, 30 minutes and a half. We haven't strung together a 60-minute game yet, really. So it'll be an exciting outing when Leinster do actually stick together for 60 to 80 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's been. It's hard to complain too much about 29 points out of 30. But then again, we are looking at the broad season. I mean, nothing like, the way the last three seasons have gone, nothing's going to really define our season until we get to May. And so it's important to see how our overall standards are and the levels, our performance levels are for each and every game.
Exactly. We've got some strength and depth as per usual, and hopefully the full season will tell its tale. But three separate parts to the season, really. You've got pre-autumn boxes ticked. You've now got the autumn internationals, and after where usually we do okay, and then after the Six Nations when the real tough stuff starts.
Absolutely. Well, let's now take a look at our next assignment, which is feature match of the week, which was, of course, Ulster v Leinster in round 7 of the 24-25 United Rugby Championship. This game is taking place at the Kingspan Stadium on Friday, November 29th, kicking off at 7:35 p.m. TV coverage is on BBC Two Northern Ireland, RTE Player, Premier Sports 1, and URC.tv. And I'd just like to wish Godspeed to anyone who has to watch that on RTE Player. It's going to be a long night for you, but listen, hopefully you get through it. Okay, well, Leinster named their match day squad at lunchtime on Thursday. If you're watching on YouTube, it's right there in the screen. Or for pod listeners, it's in the program notes. Your first point, Mark, is about our back three.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's got some speed in Jimmy O'Brien coming back at fullback. We've had Hugo Keenan and Mr. Osborne both in green and blue for a while, and Jimmy gets a run at fullback to see can he put a marker down. Jordan Larmour's had a good start to the season. He's been quite electric, and Andrew Osborne again provides another outlet with his kicking game. It's an exciting back three and one that I hope we get the ball to be honest with you.
Absolutely, yeah. There was some good news on the injury front. Suppose during the week we heard we were having Jimmy back, Larmour, Conan. There was some really good news on that front, and I tried to have a go at picking the team and what team they sort of go for, and I got pretty much the back line pretty much right.
Yeah,
The centers was right. I got Larmour and O'Brien the wrong way round, and I was hoping maybe Foley might be involved somehow, but no, it's definitely an interesting lineup for sure. Now, your second point is about our bench.
Yeah, there's some serious guys to come on the bench there, especially in RG Snyman. He's had a good run of games for both Leinster and South Africa without any serious injury. So to see him coming off the bench, hopefully is a game changer for the final 20, 30 minutes, could be a big plus on Leinster's side. It's a very young front row coming off the bench as well. I think young Maguire, with other provinces struggling with props, we just seem to be rolling them out at the moment, and hopefully long may it continue, especially our depth at hooker as well. With McKee and Barron, Gus McCarthy has sort of stolen a march on them in the last 6 months, and the depth there is serious. So the two boys have a chance to put a marker down, and hopefully they take the opportunity.
Absolutely, yeah, it's interesting. It's a 6-2 split bench as well, which they've got good back rows up there in Ulster generally. So it could do to have help to have Penny on the bench as an extra forward.
Not only ourselves, but Ulster have some experience coming off their bench too. So it'll be almost two games. I don't want to say game of two halves, but it'll be the first 60 minutes who's ahead, and then whose bench can have the most impact for the last 20 minutes or so.
Absolutely. I mean, we got the halfback pairing of Luke McGrath and Ross Byrne, so plenty of experience there for one thing. They may not play the style that we're trying to impose here at Leinster, but they definitely bring the experience, and they've got Harry and Finton on the bench as well to see the match out. So we'll see what happens
Definitely
there.
the way the attack shape has worked under Blaine Dahl, I actually think Charlie Tector is going to be a big focus for his team, standing not only at 12 but at first receiver with Ross out the back. We use a lot of moves like that this season, so Ross has the experience there. He's got a good kicking game. Hopefully, him and Luke use that to their best effect. But I really think this is a sort of game Charlie Tector could sort of put his mark on from the off.
Absolutely. Okay, so now it's time to have a quick look at Ulster. They currently lie seventh in the URC with 3 home wins over Ospreys, Connacht, and Glasgow, and 3 away defeats against Cardiff, Bulls, and Lions. So a mixed start for Richie Murphy's side. What do you make of their team, Mark?
Yeah, it's a strong team. There's definitely more youth getting a chance this year. You'd say they had a few good guys on the Emerging Ireland tour, and they've come back with enhanced performances. Jude Postlethwaite, especially for me in the centre, is a big chap. And I think their bench, young Humphreys, Mark II, has got a great passing game. So hopefully we get to see those two guys amongst other guys like Harry Sheridan, who've actually been pretty good this year. So it's going to be, I reckon it's going to be a pretty tight physical encounter, as any interpro usually is.
Absolutely, and it'll be a typical Friday night atmosphere at Ravenhill as well. So there'll be definitely a lot of involvement from the crowd. Anyway, that's for sure. And just want to say this is our first time playing against Werner Koch, and I will apologize / not apologize for all future dad jokes in rap pods, and we'll spare them maybe for this one pod, but I'm sure there'll be plenty coming down the line. And as I say, we make no apologies for them.
I'm sure people on Blue Sky or X platform will drop them there during the 80 minutes anyway.
There's going to be plenty anyway, but sure, we just can't avoid them anyway here. It's too easy. It's nothing personal against him. It's just what we do.
That point, he's had a great start to Ulster,
Yep.
brings the physicality to his running game, and part of the South African to Ulster brigade again. He's the next on the line, so he's a good player. He's exciting to watch, and he's been a great addition to the Ulster squad.
Absolutely. They announced another one there during the week coming from Northampton, Augustus. He'll be joining them next season. So they're improving their ranks.
Huge signing, especially for ball carrying. I think that's a massive plus for Ulster.
Absolutely. Okay, so now a quick look at the officials. We've got Owen Cross, who we've been very positive about for the past season or so. He's holding the whistle, and it's an all-Irish team there. The weather for Belfast, well, the rain is assumed, but it does say 25% rain. It's supposed to be pretty windy. The official weather forecast is low clouds, 12 degrees, which is mild enough, but could be windy, and the expected rain. So we'll see what happens there. Okay, we'll take a quick look now at what else is going on in the URC this weekend. What match stands out for you?
From my own point of view, Connacht and Bulls should be a great test for Connacht, depending how many Bulls are straight back in after their autumn internationals. The Bulls are a solid side, but they don't travel as well as they do in as they stay in Loftus. But Connacht have had some really good results so far this year, and some of their players are playing outstanding rugby. Carl Ford is a personal favourite, not only of mine, but I know everybody was sort of shocked he didn't get a chance at the autumn internationals. Just be good to see Connacht continue their good home form there.
Yeah, absolutely. And in other matches, we've got Glasgow hosting Scarlets on the Friday night as well, and Munster also have South African oppositions. They've got the Lions coming to play them. Okay, so it's head on the block time, man. How do you see it going at the Kingspan?
I think it'll be tight for 60 minutes. I honestly think whichever bench has the most impact will tell the tale of the result. I probably see Leinster by 5-7. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was 5-7 the other way either.
Absolutely. Yeah, could definitely go either way. Listen, we're going to leave it there, man. Many thanks for joining us, Mark, and hope to have you back on the show again soon. Take care, man.
Cheers, Jeff. Thanks a lot.
No problem. And many thanks to you all for checking out our latest preview show. Be sure to enjoy the match wherever you are. Leave a comment on our Facebook page after the full-time whistle. We will, of course, have a wrap pod for you this week, recording on Sunday evening. And don't forget, we're also giving Ireland v Australia the full Harpen treatment with a separate preview and pod. So hopefully you'll help us out by liking, sharing, and subscribing. In the meantime, stay safe, everyone. Slán.